India achieved clear air dominance over Pakistan during Operation Synindhur, forcing Pakistan to seek truce, claims a new detailed study by a Swiss think tank. Study concludes that at the end of the 88-hour conflict, Pakistan lost the ability to counter Indian operations. European Union chief announces inking of India-EU Security and Defence Pact a day ahead of the mega free trade agreement talks, hails it as a powerful symbol of cooperation. US President Donald Trump sends his greetings to India on Republic Day, hails historic bond between world's largest and oldest democracy. Opposition alleges politics in Padma Awards, accuses centre of announcing awards keeping poll-bound states in mind, particularly Kerala with 8 honours. Congress leader claims that Rahul Gandhi was insulted by the government by making him sit in the third row at the Republic Day parade. Senior party leader alleges lack of protocol and grace. A day after facing accusations from his own Muslim leaders, Congress now faces flak from IUDF. Badruddin Ajmal says Muslims safer than ever in India. Top sources tell CNN News 18 DMK is making a supersize alliance for the upcoming elections with over 20 parties in its fold. Kanimoy deputed for talks with the Congress in Delhi. Badrinath and Kedarnath Temple Committee announces ban on entry of non-Hindus to the revered shrines. Panel says ban may be extended to Gangotri Dham as well. Family of Mumbai College professor claims that Alok Singh could have been saved had cops rushed him to the nearest hospital after being stabbed on a local train. Our top focus is what's transpiring in China. China's top general is under investigation for allegedly leaking nuclear secrets to the United States and accepting bribes for promotions. He is accused of sharing core technical data on Chinese nuclear weapons program with the US intelligence and receiving massive bribes in return for elevating officers, including a former defense minister. The investigation is part of Xi Jinping's anti-corruption drive. It has so far targeted over 200,000 officials since 2012. This particular individual, the Chinese general, is 75-year-old. He's a close ally of Xi Jinping. He's believed at least to be a close ally of Xi Jinping, a veteran of China's 1979 border war with Vietnam. Now, this investigation has sent shockwaves through China's military. Many senior officers are facing the scrutiny. Taiwan, meanwhile, is also monitoring the situation closely, concerned about what the repercussions of this will be and about potential instability in the region. My colleague Zaka Jacob breaks it down for us.
The biggest military purge that you're seeing of the highest ranking general, the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, which is the highest decision-making body when it comes to China's People's Liberation Army, both the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. Zhang Youxia was also a childhood friend and a close confidant of Xi Jinping. In fact, both their fathers fought with Mao Zedong in the People's Liberation Army. They were responsible for the birth of the People's Republic of China in 1949. They were considered as the original revolutionaries, and their children, both Xi Jinping and Zhang Youxia, were referred to as the princelings. There's a whole generation of the so-called princelings, and Xi Jinping went on to become the biggest of them all, the president of China and also the Secretary General of the Communist Party of China. So Zhang Youxia was a fellow traveler with Xi Jinping. In fact, when he was governor in Zhejiang province in the early 2000s, Zhang Youxia was the head of the Eastern Command at that time. So he was supposed to be the conscience keeper of Xi Jinping, the man that Xi Jinping trusted with his life, the senior most military general in the higher sort of brass of the Chinese military, the Central Military Commission. Now, he has been removed, and he's been summarily removed from that post. He's been put on some kind of internment. And the most important thing here is that of the 8 members of the Central Military Commission, 6 of them have been purged in the last 3 years. I'm talking about from 2022, when Xi Jinping made the new Central Military Commission members, including Zhang as the vice chairman of the CMC. 6 out of the 8 members have been removed. So only 2 people are left. One is Xi himself, who is the chairman of the Central Military Commission, and there's one other general who, by the way, has never been in combat. He's an administrative general, and he heads the sort of discipline department of the CMC, and he has been sort of instrumental in carrying out Xi Jinping's agenda of this anti-corruption or anti-graft purge that's been going on for the better part of the last 3 years. Now, the important thing, and you referred to this, Taiwan. I think Taiwan is extremely critical because they're watching these developments very closely. Xi Jinping has made his ambitions very clear that he wants to get Taiwan either by military force or by coercion. He is sort of given an unofficial deadline to the PLA of 2027, which is the 100th year of founding of the People's Liberation Army. And he wants to sort of reunify Taiwan, which is one of the unsaid, unfinished agendas for the formation of the PRC. So this is something that Taiwan will be very, very closely watching, because what does this mean in terms of this battle preparedness for an attack on Taiwan if one were to happen? And also, how will the Trump administration react to it? Trump has so far been very hands-off when it comes to Taiwan. He is not, unlike his predecessors, committed to whether America would militarily defend Taiwan if China were to attack it. He has, of course, recently approved a massive weapons package for Taiwan, but Taiwan will be very, very closely following this military purge in the higher brass of the Chinese military.
Shifting focus back home, India isn't just celebrating its 77th Republic Day today, but it's also showcasing a paradigm shift in its national security soul. This is the first Republic Day parade today that took place this morning since the decisive 88-hour Operation Synindhur in May 2025. The military might is visible in every synchronized step that we saw on Kartavya Path this morning. From the debut of the Bhairav Light Commando Battalion to the tactical battle array format replacing traditional blocks, the message is clear. India has moved from defense restraint to escalation dominance. And it's not just us saying that. In fact, a Swiss study has now validated New Delhi's strategy, confirming that during the Operation Synindhur conflict, India controlled both the tempo and the ceiling of the confrontation. This Swiss tank report has confirmed that the Indian Air Force achieved air superiority and forced Pakistan to beg for ceasefire. The report sends out a bold message to doubters, especially politically within our own country. But let's break down what this report really says. The Swiss think tank's report clearly states that India decisively dominated the skies and struck deep inside Pakistan's air defense grid between the 8th and 10th of May. This is what it goes on to highlight, that between 8th to 9th May, the IAF launched a focus campaign to cripple Pakistan's air defense network. Using loitering munitions, Indian forces neutralized key early warning radars in different sectors, is what this report goes on to point out. Then on the 10th of May, the IAF carried out precision strikes using BrahMos, Rampage missiles on key Pakistani air bases, proof of which exists. This report also goes on to validate exactly that runways and hangars of Pakistani bases were crippled, air defense batteries were hit. Then by noon on 10th of May, Pakistani military authorities had requested a ceasefire. This is a validation that has come to the fore for India's military might and the onslaught that India rained fire on Pakistan during Operation Synindhur. Let's take you through the key takeaways of this particular report. It goes on to talk about how the Indian Air Force dominated the skies, controlled aerial operations throughout the conflict period, how Indian jets executed precise maneuvers avoiding incoming Pakistani surface-to-air threats. Pakistani forces were unable to launch any repeat operations. They were unable to counter India's attack, is what this report says. That the Indian Air Force managed to significantly degrade the enemy's air defense systems. India's coordinated precision strikes had crippled Pakistan's air war capability, is what this report points out. And how India did that was India targeted both offensive aircraft and the infrastructure that supports them. The Indian Air Force concluded the conflict by carrying out a series of spectacular strikes against Pakistan's principal Air Force stations, is what this report concludes. Now, this Swiss analysis highlights that India combined overwhelming capability with disciplined restraint through Operation Synindhur, and India's air superiority during this 88-hour operation forced Pakistan to come begging to the negotiation table, ask for a ceasefire after Operation Synindhur. So what exactly was today's highlight as Republic Day parade took place in the morning? Let's showcase what India's military might look like after Operation Synindhur, which was displayed today at Kartavya Path during the Republic Day parade. We're talking about the BrahMos missile. Remember, it carries out high-precision strikes on Pakistan bases. Terra infrastructure was targeted using this particular thing. As far as the S-400 defense system was concerned, is believed to be a hero of Operation Synindhur, and the onslaught that continued after that as Pakistan tried to attack India, all of which were thwarted. This is a long-range air shield that had neutralized jets, drones, missiles, all alike. The Akash missile system is an indigenously produced air defense system. It's suitable for varied terrains. Again, put to test, it's battle ready as far as Operation Synindhur went. Another highlight of today's RDA parade was the Nag missile system. It's a third generation anti-tank guided missile system, which again walked down the Kartavya Path this morning as part of the 1.5-hour R-Day parade that we saw. The first, of course, after Operation Synindhur. And there's a story to tell as far as this Republic Day parade goes. That's exactly what happened this morning. India's indigenous might, India's Make in India push for defense, and India's superiority when it came to Pakistan and the onslaught on Pakistan last year during Operation Synindhur, all of which was displayed on Kartavya Path during the R-Day parade. Here are some excerpts.
And close behind them, approaching the saluting base with dignity and shared purpose, we have leading the mounted contingent of the Republic Day Parade 2026, resplendent in active combat uniform, mounted on magnificent gleaming steeds, the 61st Cavalry Contingent led by Captain Ahan Kumar, the only active horse cavalry regiment in the world.
And over the Kartavya Path now is Prahar formation comprising one Dhruv advanced light helicopter carrying the Operation Synindhur flag of the Indian Army along with Rudra ALH WSI of the Indian Army and ALH Mark IV of the Indian Air Force, formation led by Colonel Vijay Pratap Sena Medal. ALH WSI flown by Lieutenant Colonel Ahmed Pasha and ALH Mark IV flown by Group Captain Arunav Pal. Prahar formation led today by Colonel Vijay Pratap Sena Medal.
And here going past the saluting base led by Lieutenant Arjun Kashyap of 6 Lancers, the High Mobility Reconnaissance Vehicle HMRV, India's first indigenously designed armoured light specialist vehicle. Equipped with battlefield surveillance radars, capable of detecting men, vehicles and low-flying helicopters along with drones to cover radar-blind zones.
And now flying is the Garud formation, a powerful display of indomitable spirit of our Apache attack helicopters, known for its unmatched power and lethality across the world. 2 Apache helicopters flown by Colonel Vikrant Sharma Sena Medal along with Lieutenant Colonel Manoj Saraswat. Lieutenant Colonel Sudeep with Major Aditya flying the 2nd Apache.
वायु विचरण करते वायु योद्धाओं के साथ साथ सलामी मंच के सामने भारत की सामरिक शक्ति का प्रदर्शन करता हुआ T-90 टैंक और साथ में मेन बैटल टैंक अर्जुन। 77 बख्तरबंद रेजिमेंट के कैप्टन विपनजोत सिंह विर्क की कमान में T-90 भीष्म टैंक का मशीनीकृत कॉलम अपनी गर्जना से वातावरण को गुंजायमान कर रहा है। और उसके ठीक बाईं ओर है 75 आर्म्ड रेजिमेंट के मेजर हितेश मेहता की कमान में अर्जुन MK1 मुख्य युद्धक टैंक। स्वदेशी रूप से विकसित है ये प्लेटफॉर्म। BMP-2 और नाग मिसाइल प्रणाली एक साथ शान से आगे बढ़ते हुए भारतीय सेना की मशीनीकृत ताकत के 2 शक्तिशाली प्रतीक है ये। 2 गार्ड्स के कैप्टन अक्षय कुमार बाली के नेतृत्व में द मैकेनाइज्ड इन्फेंट्री रेजिमेंट का BMP-2 कॉलम आगे बढ़ रहा है और साथ में है नाग मिसाइल सिस्टम MK2 17 मैकेनाइज्ड इन्फेंट्री रेजिमेंट के लेफ्टिनेंट शशांक शर्मा के नेतृत्व में।
Dwansak Light Strike Vehicle LSVs. First LSV represents the firepower component, the second LSV abreast signifies the surveillance component, and the third LSV behind is anti-tank component.
LSV और UGV, unmanned systems, robotic dogs and UGVs इस समय कर्तव्य पथ पर और मानव रहित जमीनी वाहन माउंटेड UGV इसकी कमान संभाली है गोरखा राइफल्स के कैप्टन विकास यादव ने। MSME और स्टार्टअप द्वारा घरेलू उच्च तकनीक का इस्तेमाल इन वाहनों को भारी हथियारों के साथ लोड किया जा सकता है। शक्तिबाण और दिव्यास्त्र वाहन भारत की नई पीढ़ी के मानव रहित वॉरहेड शस्त्रागार को शक्तिबाण और दिव्यास्त्र वाहनों के माध्यम से देखा जा सकता है। शक्तिबाण वाहन की कमान लेफ्टिनेंट रमन मिश्रा ने संभाली है और दिव्यास्त्र वाहन की कमान सूबेदार किरण मेदर के हाथ। ये दिव्यास्त्र वाहन और शक्तिबाण विशेषीकृत हाई मोबिलिटी व्हीकल्स पर स्थापित हैं। निगरानी लक्ष्यकरण की एकीकृत अवधारणा पर डिजाइन किए गए ये प्लेटफॉर्म।
And now rolling together along Kartavya Path, two powerful symbols of India's indigenous artillery strength are MOG, the Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System, ATAGS, and the Dhanush gun system, reflecting the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat, led by Captain Natarajan Siva of 74 Field Regiment. The AMOG has a 155mm 52 caliber artillery gun, and led by Captain Gaurav Pandey of the 871 Medium Regiment, the Dhanush gun system, capable of firing a shell within 12 seconds and swiftly changing position to evade enemy counteraction. And now, going past a saluting base, presenting a formidable combination of a long-range precision and overwhelming firepower, the Suryastra and the BrahMos weapon system. Lieutenant Mehak Bhati is leading the Suryastra Universal Rocket Launcher System. And following the Suryastra, the BrahMos weapon system, led by Captain Animesh Rohela of the 344 Missile Regiment.
Rolling past the saluting days are two formidable pillars of India's air defense architecture, the Akash weapon system and the medium-range surface-to-air missile MR-SAM. The Akash weapon system, led today by Captain Aniket Ocha of 128 Air Defense Missile Regiment. Following the Akash is MR-SAM, also known as Abhr weapon system, led today by Captain Tanik Sharma of 501 Air Defense Missile Regiment. The motto of the regiment, Agratah Abhr, Vijay Sarvatra, ever ahead, victory everywhere. Akash, India's first indigenously developed surface-to-air missile system, designed to counter a wide spectrum of aerial theatres. And now, Drone Shakti, Eagle on the Arm, captained by Divyojit Mukherjee. Developed by the Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineers, the elite internal technical force, Drone Shakti, enables fabrication and sustenance of drone in forward areas. And behind is the Integrated Operational Center, commemorating national victory during Operation Synindhur and inspiring the youth. The platform depicts conduct of operation in brief, led by Captain Samira Zenat Batar, showcasing the entire nation's effort in its success. A blend of Virasat, Vividta or Vikas.
भारतीय सशस्त्र सेनाओं के इंटीग्रेटेड ऑपरेशनल सेंटर के बाद अब बारी है कर्तव्य पथ पर भारतीय थल सेना के मूक सैनिकों की, यानी पशु दस्ते का स्वागत हो रहा है। हिमालय और सियाचिन के उच्च दुर्गम पर्वतों पर ये मूक योद्धा हमारे योद्धाओं के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर काम करते हैं। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की भावना को आत्मसात करते हिमालयी क्षेत्रों में तैनात हमारे विशेष सैनिक हिम योद्धाओं की इस टुकड़ी का नेतृत्व कर रही हैं कैप्टन हर्षिता यादव। हमें इन पर गर्व है। सबसे आगे हैं बैक्ट्रियन ऊंट, भारतीय सेना के ये लद्दाख के शीत मरुस्थलों से गलवान और नुब्रा तक अपनी सेवाएं देते हैं। 15,000 फीट से अधिक ऊंचाई पर भी ये सहजता से कार्य कर सकते हैं। ब्लैक काइट्स, शिकारी पक्षी रैप्टर्स। प्रसन्नता और गर्व का विषय है कि राष्ट्र सेवा में सतत तत्पर ब्लैक काइट्स आज परेड में अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज करा रहे हैं। ग्लेशियर एटीवी ऑल टेरेन व्हीकल और साथ में भारतीय नस्ल के सैन्य श्वान, मधोल हाउंड, रामपुर हाउंड, ये सभी आज कर्तव्य पथ पर अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज करा रहे हैं।
Marching with quiet determination and unmatched resilience is the mixed Scouts contingent led by Lieutenant Amit Chaudhary to Arunachal Scouts, representing India's elite infantry unit, specialized in high altitude surveillance and frontier reconnaissance.
And behind them we have Shere Jawan, the 4 Bhairav Battalion, the 6th Light Infantry Regiment, led by Major Anjum Gorkha, going past the saluting base. This is a specialized assault infantry unit bridging the capability of conventional infantry and special forces. Designed for rapid response and high intensity operations. An able first responder.
और अब DRDO की ये लॉन्ग रेंज एंटी शिप मिसाइल, इसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं उत्कृष्ट वैज्ञानिक एवं परियोजना निदेशक श्री ए प्रसाद गौड़। DRDO हमारी रक्षा सेनाओं को आत्मनिर्भर बनाते हुए उन्हें आधुनिक हथियार प्रणालियों से लैस कर रहा है।
Time now for the grand finale, a thrilling flying display. This flying display is an outcome of the focused training and professionalism of the air and the ground crew of the Indian Air Force. The first formation onto your television screens, Arjun Formation, named after Marshal of the Air Force Arjun Singh, Distinguished Flying Cross. Formation comprising 1 C-130J Super Hercules aircraft and 2 C-295 aircraft, the latest tactical transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Leading this formation is a C-130J aircraft from the Special Operations Squadron of the Indian Air Force, led today by Group Captain Rahul Rawat. The motto of the squadron, Praharati Pratihanti, translating to strike to kill. Flanking it are 2 C-29 aircraft from 12th Squadron in victory formation, flown by Group Captain Shivam P.K. Vasan and Wing Commander S. Sachin.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The human gaze, all eyes up to the sky from the direction of Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Indian Air Force flypast will begin.
Time now for the grand finale, a thrilling flying display. This flying display is an outcome of the focused training and professionalism of the air and the ground crew of the Indian Air Force. The first formation onto your television screens, Arjun Formation, named after Marshal of the Air Force Arjun Singh, Distinguished Flying Cross. Formation comprising 1 C-130J Super Hercules aircraft and 2 C-295 aircraft, the latest tactical transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Leading this formation is a C-130J aircraft from the Special Operations Squadron of the Indian Air Force, led today by Group Captain Rahul Rawat. The motto of the squadron, Praharati Pratihanti, translating to strike to kill. Flanking it are 2 C-29 aircraft from 12th Squadron in victory formation, flown by Group Captain Shivam P.K. Vasan and Wing Commander S. Sachin.
जी हाँ, जमीनी करतबों के बाद अब बारी है हवाई करतबों की। भारतीय वायुसेना के वायु योद्धा वायु विचरण करते हुए जब नजर आएंगे कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर, तो आप अपनी सांसें थाम लेंगे, यकीन मानिए। सबसे पहले कुछ ही देर के बाद अर्जन फॉर्मेशन, जिसमें 2 C-295 विमान और साथ में एक C-130 एयरक्राफ्ट सुपर हरक्यूलिस के नाम से जिसे जाना जाता है, अर्जन फॉर्मेशन तैयार करते हुए कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से गुजरेगा। मार्शल ऑफ एयर फोर्स अर्जन सिंह के नाम पर जिसका नामकरण हुआ है। नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं ग्रुप कैप्टन राहुल रावत। 350 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से इन विमानों ने चंडीगढ़ से उड़ान भरी है और कर्तव्य पथ की ओर अग्रसर हैं।
The formation flying at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour, and today it has gone airborne from Air Force Station Chandigarh. C-130J is a special operation heavy lift transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force. And now you can see the first formation, Arjun formation, led by Group Captain Rahul Rawat. Flanking it are two C-295 aircraft, flown by Group Captain Shivam P.K. Vasan and Wing Commander S. Sachin. Flying majestically up over the skies of the Kartavya Path. And now time for the Varuna formation, comprising one PHI aircraft of the Indian Navy and two Sukhoi 30 MKI aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Leading the formation will be Group Captain Akshay Kumar Raja with Commander Ashish Vashisht flying the PHI, and the Sukhoi 30 MKI of the Indian Air Force flown by Group Captain Jeetu Yadav with Squadron Leader Tanush Malik and Wing Commander Deepak Prasad with Squadron Leader Ram Sharma. The PHI, with its unmatched long-range maritime reconnaissance and anti-submarine prowess, and the Sukhois flanking it. The formation led by Captain Akshay Kumar Raja. And now you can see Bajrang formation comprising 6 Rafale fighter aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Undoubtedly, one can say even the wind along the Kartavya Path have stopped to stare at these Rafales. The formation being led by Group Captain Arun Kumar. Other members of the formation, Wing Commander Jaspal Singh, Squadron Leader V.B. Chengude, Squadron Leader A.K. Beniwal, Squadron Leader S. Masand, and Squadron Leader Amol Garg, all from 101 Squadron, known as the Falcons of the Chum. The squadron's motto, Anubhishya Bhedi, seek and destroy. Rafale, omnipotent 4++ generation fighter aircraft of the Indian Air Force.
जी आपसे कुछ ही क्षणों के बाद कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से नजर आएंगे वज्रांग फॉर्मेशन में 6 रफेल विमान। नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं ग्रुप कैप्टन अरुण कुमार, वायु योद्धा गर्व और शौर्य की नई मिसाल कायम करते हुए कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से वायु विचरण।
वज्रांग led by Group Captain Arun Kumar. Marvel the choreography of power and precision, each aircraft symbolic of the guardianship that keeps our skies sovereign and secure. And time now for a single Rafale flying at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour, all set to touch the sky with glory as it executes the vertical maneuver over Kartavya Path. The aircraft is being flown by Group Captain Amit Gehani along with Flight Lieutenant Utkarsh Sharma of 17th Squadron, known as the Golden Arrows. Their motto, Udayam Ajastram, meaning ever rising skywards.
विजय फॉर्मेशन कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से एक रफेल 900 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से वायु विचरण करता हुआ उड़ान भर रहे हैं ग्रुप कैप्टन अमित गेहानी, जोधपुर से उड़ान भरी है।
The aircraft doing series of rolls, going up, and finally would disappear into the blue yonder, signifying the motto of the Indian Air Force, Nabha Sprisham Deeptam. Vijay stands as a salute to the spirit of India, resolute and rising.
उपस्थित जनसमूह आह्लादित है, उल्लसित है, रोमांचित है। वायु योद्धाओं के इस वायु विचरण को देखकर, जिन्होंने भारतीय वायुसेना की गौरवशाली परंपरा की नई मिसाल कायम की है, नभर स्पृशम दीप्तम को चरितार्थ करते हुए कर्तव्य पथ देश प्रेम के रंगों से ओतप्रोत होता हुआ।
Now you see me, now you don't. You blink and you miss. What a wonderful flypast. Historically, flypasts have a special affinity with parades and form their aerial component. And the flypasts here at the Republic Day Parade have a way of imprinting themselves on the audience's memory. A form of aerial salute. They show respect, display aircraft, and showcase flying skills as a form of entertainment.
AI, energy, defense. In today's volatile world, no three areas of business are more linked to national security than these three. Information, and how is it accessed in the AI-led future? What will be the country's biggest source of energy and who will provide it? And how does a nation defend its territorial integrity in the new field of non-combat warfare? Nothing matters more in today's global framework than this. So ahead of the Union Budget 2026, we are looking at exactly these sectors. How is India doing and what more does it need? Indian government has already announced multiple measures and schemes to promote indigenous manufacturing and tech development in all of these sectors with Atmanirbhar Bharat, Bharat AI and National Hydrogen Green Energy Mission. But what more needs to be done, especially by the government? What do private players need to deliver for India? To talk about this and more, I'm joined by industry voices from exactly these sectors. Nikhil Matre is founder and CEO of AI Overlords. Nikhil Methia is founder and CEO of Drone Lab Technologies, and also Vatsal Kundalia is managing director, Advait Green Energy Private Limited. Big thanks to the gentlemen for joining us. Nikhil Matre, I begin with you. Even as we speak and look ahead of the next budget, we are seeing, for example, at Davos, AI being mentioned very prominently. India's wanting to be taken as a very serious player in this regard. Give me a sense of how well do you think India is doing, especially with government initiatives and private players like yourself putting their best in this?
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. So India has definitely moved from policy talk to real programs. We see National AI Mission, India AI Mission, right? We have GPU access plans, etc. We have seen a lot of strong application-led growth in sectors like fintech, in health tech, in gov tech, agri-tech, etc. And the major advantage that we have as Indians is, talent depth. We have cost-efficient engineers. We have globally deployable AI engineers who actually can, be deployed in any country and solve any sort of AI problems that we have today. So we, though there are some limitations when it comes to, let's say, competing with US on building frontier models, we are not there yet. But we are definitely outperforming many other countries in applied AI adoption and in service-led innovation.
The government has made a big push in this regard, and this seems to be a very key focus area. We're looking at how many, fields of life this actually affects and is going to affect in the future as well. In fact, we are learning as we speak that the government may, in fact, focus very strongly on AI and AI models. We want our own language models. We want our own AI models. We are seeing the line between tech companies and policy, kind of fade in terms of the fear that tech companies could decide a lot of a nation's sovereignty online as well. So do you think the government has done enough in this regard? And how competitive do you think we can be looking forward?
Right. So I think the role of the government really should be that of an evangelist. It should definitely put in place guardrails and not roadblocks. But when it comes to actually, creating serious sort of AI regulations, I think the government has so far done a very good job, right? We really don't have full understanding of what sort of challenges will arise in future. But at this point in time, I'm very, very comfortable with what all frameworks already have been put in place.
Let's also touch on, drones, especially because we are seeing them as the new modern warfare in all kinds of situations. In fact, drones are extremely important. They're being used extensively already in India as far as agricultural or civil applications are concerned. So, Nikhil Mehta, I want your first opening sense of how well India is doing versus the world, and has India succeeded to what amount in becoming Atmanirbhar, as the government says, when it comes to these technologies?
Yes, thank you. So I'm a part of drone industry since 2016. So we see this industry for the 10-year shifting from the zero to hero model. So we visit around the world. Like I visit in the Europe, I visit in the Russia, I visited in the South Korea as well. But I'm proud to say the Indian government doing lot of work in the drone sector, like our policy. Like in 2021, we have best policy in the world. Some of European countries don't have such kind of policy. So we are working in the four parallel pillar in the drone sector. So first is a drone as a service, the drone manufacturing. Third is a drone training, and fourth is a drone software development. So Indian policy making is a completely focus on the all four pillars. So in the indigenous part, the drone Shakti Yojana. So they promote in the drone as a service sector, drone training sector. So governments come with the PLI scheme. In the first phase, they allotted 120 CR. Now they are planning to allocate more than 100x of the same amount in the PLI, because the indigenous is must needed. We see the Operation Sindhu. So now warfare is only by the drone. So currently Ukraine, Russia, they are not a man-to-man warfare.
Yes.
They are system oriented warfare. So in the future warfare is a completely drone based, AI based, and robot based. So government also focus on the such topic. They like as a drone player, I see the industry is shifting. So government focus on the drone cluster. So there are some of states are aggressively working on the drone cluster thing. In all over world, there is a no drone cluster kind of thing is still anything happening. Andhra Pradesh coming with their own drone city model. Madhya Pradesh is coming with the drone cluster. Gujarat is coming with the drone cluster. The major state is coming with own drone cluster. So it's kind of aura, or industry player will be at same place. They will not fighting with each other. They will do the collaborative approach, and they will work for the nation. So this is the drone cluster model. There are multiple schemes government coming with the win-win situation working. We see as a part of industry. So parallelly, multiple policies are in India. There is not exist anywhere in the world. So we proud that we born in India, and we feel the industry revolutions, and we are the part of it.
But how would you rate India in comparison to other countries? Because generally speaking, there is a thought process that India is still not leading as far as tech is concerned or R&D is concerned. Although, of course, Operation Sindoor and the many successes that Indian drone companies have had has really changed that outlook or that feeling. But how would you compare India or manufacturers like yourself to the global competition? Give me a sense of, what are the kind of markets, for example, that you are able to access, not just, the Indian market, but, for example, from the export point of view.
So export point of view, we personally focus on the Russian market as of now. The last year I was in Russia. So they are also want to partnering with the Indian company who are expanding the both type of drone, the civilian drones, like which drones then use cases for the smart city purpose, survey purpose, agriculture purpose, wash purpose, such kind of drones already good in the India market. And they are also looking for the war drones. They can use for the war purpose. So India is a key. Even Russia is not working on the civilian drones, like such kind of operation in the survey or agriculture drone. They are also looking for the good partner. So there is a good opportunity in the Russian market. In the South Korea, I visited in 2024. So South Korea is they are good in the software development part, but not the drone development as of now. South Korea is also a good market. South Africa and Africa region, they are also born baby. Like when we see India is in 2016, the Africa region is currently starting working in the drone sector in 2024 and 25. So Africa region is also good market to the explore, and the Europe is a good market, but due to the this NATO alliance, there is some restriction about the flying of drones. So it's like we also explore the European market, but due to the some restriction, we are not able to crack it. But these are the three countries: Russia, South Africa, and the Africa region whole. Good market to the export industry.
I want to also touch upon energy now, because we all know, I mean, this is not something that is a matter of today, but energy resources and also energy creation, both continue to be extremely important as far as the growth story of a country is concerned. So Vatsal, give me your sense. You know, we've had this much touted hydrogen green energy mission. We've had an explosion of sorts as far as solar energy is concerned in India. Give me a sense at the beginning of how well do you think we have done? Because, you know, some of these targets are for as soon as 2030 and beyond. Are we on track to meet some of these targets?
So thank you for the question. And to answer your question, we are now moving from ambition to execution, right? So that is a very clear path, which majorly all of the private companies have already taken up the initiative. We as a company are contributing towards the National Green Hydrogen Mission, as we also have got the PLI to produce upwards of 300 megawatt of hydrogen electrolyzers, which is basically essentially the core component to generate the green hydrogen from RE power to the actual molecule of hydrogen it is. Currently, if you ask, then I would say that the country is currently changing towards the policy, because there are the policy frameworks which are being placed, but still we can see a lot of demand gap. And see, in any industry, there is always a chicken and egg situation, right? When there is demand, then only we can do supply. We are not inherently rich country like some of the other countries who have the money to do the R&D first. And we as a country are not frankly a R&D country. Let me be very clear on this. We are sort of a execution, and then what we do is that we work on the balance of plant, and then we work on the indigenizing it, and then making it cheaper and more efficient. So this is what the Indian DNA has been like. So currently what the thing is that a lot of private companies and a lot of the public sector utilities are contributing, but still it is at a minuscule stage, because the policies have been created, but the execution, it's still a little bit far-fetched. That is what I can say. So once the demand is created, the projects automatically become bankable. And then there will be a lot of export opportunity as well, because this will be a direct fossil fuel eradication from India once the green molecules like hydrogen and ammonia are actually in picture. So this is the situation. If in one line I would have to answer is that we are moving from policy to execution to demand off taking. So this is the phase that we are in.
No, particularly in the energy sector, the supply demand, lopsidedness has been a challenge. There are also grid challenges, right? Currently, we don't have either the capacity to store that much or the capacity to actually, use whether it's hydrogen or solar energy as it is being produced. So how do you look at these challenges, and how soon do you think India can be on the path where these challenges are no longer holding back the energy creation?
See, few years, because number one, for any project to be successful, number one, you need policy. We are there already. You need serious players. We are a lot of serious players we are seeing in India currently. We also have just inaugurated in Kakinada one of the biggest ammonia generation plants in the world. So that is a very big very big opportunity and very big initiative that has been taken. Apart from that, of course, the point you mentioned is that we don't have a green grid. That is a huge issue that we are facing. So essentially what will happen is that wherever the RE power is generated, at that site you'll have to install electrolyzers and install the green hydrogen ammonia derivative plant. And at that stage only, because see, even with these kind of molecules, the transportation is a very big issue. You cannot essentially fill hydrogen up and transport in a tanker. It is not that way. And still we are not seeing a very strong government policy for security and for storage purpose.
Okay.
So currently we are, we can say we are at a draft model on many terms, but at the same time we are seeing huge projects being commissioned and being in pipeline in India. So we see that sooner we'll be able to get a very much clearer view. And I would just like to point out that currently we are seeing a lot of surge in the demand of battery energy storage systems in India. And as a company also, we have contributed to the story as being a developer, and we are also setting up our own assembly plant for battery energy storage systems. So honestly, we have been caught red-handed here because the entire year, this year of 25-26, we have seen tenders of upwards 8 to 10 gigawatt being floated in the system. And all of the business, at least 80 to 90% of the business has gone to our neighboring countries. Okay. So in order to ensure that this doesn't happen in hydrogen, government and the policymakers will have to see that a survival of private companies wanting to make equipment and machinery and BOP for hydrogen and ammonia related components like electrolyzers and BOP and systems, and EPC companies as well, get survival projects for an initial 1.5 or 2 year time period. Once this is done, they will be able to, so companies like us essentially will be able to train the staff, will be able to generate the qualification, the capability, the know-how and the capacity. And the banks will also turn out. So after 2 to 3 years, we'll be sure that minimum business goes to the neighboring countries or global companies, and Indian companies get a edge.
As far as this is,
after 2 to 3 years.
So, Nikhil Matra, I want to understand from you, when we speak of AI, currently there's so much chatter in the world about rare earth, minerals, resources, for example, that data centers need. And we all know about some of the concerns that are arising of how much power, for example, that is required to scale up these, these facilities. Is that a concern for you, given what is happening in the global framework? All of this fight that is going on across countries, across groups for rare earths and other, raw material that is required.
Absolutely. So one of the key pillars in building, very, very strong AI capabilities for any nation is AI infrastructure. And then in order to build AI infrastructure, you need GPUs, you need compute infrastructure, right? And to build these GPUs, you need rare earth materials, you need, all kinds of minerals, you need energy is one of the primary things that you need, right? And some of the projections that you see that are coming out from these AI companies and the amount of electricity they would be needing in the near future, it's huge, right? In some cases, it might actually take up 1 to 2% of US's energy reserves every year, right? And that will only accelerate. It will not come down. So if you think about it, these are very, very fundamental challenges, and we must do anything and everything in our capacity to get more minerals. So the actual production of these GPUs happens outside, but then we can always assemble these GPUs and create our own compute sort of infrastructure. And then the energy is something that can come from our national players itself, right? So we can get a lot of energy and then really scale these compute infrastructures, and then and that actually will translate to us giving a lot of cloud credits for startups and for research institutions at a subsidized or at a very, very low cost, right? So it's very, very important that we get few pieces like these, minerals and energy and other things in the right place, so that we have a huge impact.
Yeah. So as far as this budget is concerned, what is the kind of framework help that you are looking forward to from the government? Is it more on the side that there should be more fund allocation, particularly when it comes to sustaining, creating these sovereign models, and making sure that there's a pipeline of funding available, even if private players were to go for R&D and other scaling up? Or is it more on the side of infrastructure, these building blocks that you talked about, including power, electricity, water, etc.?
Definitely, infrastructure will be one of the biggest play, right? We definitely need subsidized and some kind of national GPU and compute infrastructure. Like I've said, that will help startups, that will help organizations in getting access to cloud credits at a very, very subsidized rate. We definitely need to skill our population at a very, very fast pace. AI is the fastest growing industry by far, and we definitely need to do something about it. A lot of reskilling and upskilling is required. There are engineers who are working in the same job for 10 years, but they are not skilled enough, to be employed anywhere, especially in the AI economy. So definitely a lot can be done on that front. I've seen a lot of gaps in specific domains like applied AI, MLOps, AI safety and compliance, etc. In addition to that, I feel we must definitely motivate young entrepreneurs to start AI companies. Like a good way to do this would be to have some kind of stipend for founders, at least for a year or 18 months, so that they can take care of their personal personal things. And then obviously grants are definitely needed for startups. We can also do things like give some kind of depreciation benefits, accelerated depreciation benefits to companies which are doing some serious investments in AI, so that they can set that investment off over a number of years. What is also needed is a lot of regulatory confidence. We need clear, innovation-friendly AI governance. We also need the government to basically act more like a guardrail, to put guardrails in place and not roadblocks. And one last piece on the regulation front would be, what is really needed is we want the government to play the role of an evangelist. We want the government to be a facilitator, and we also want it, to be a referee where it stays away from participating in this game. But then, it actually can make sure that all the private players are developing responsible AI.
All right. Let's wait and see what comes as far as this is concerned. But, definitely all of these sectors are high priority for the government. And there are also sectors that, are really crucial to India's growth, both economically, but also as a country standing on its own in a very volatile geopolitical scenario in the future. So, Vatsal, your thoughts finally on what you would like to see as far as energy and renewable energy, hydrogen energy from the government is concerned, because they've made a lot of allocations already. What more needs to be done?
In renewable, if speaking on renewable, because there's no comment to make on solar, because we already have a story in solar. India is successfully the cheapest country to produce solar energy, and we are the cheapest price has been discovered in the latest tenders in the current year. And this is a massive big point for India, a big win for India. If storage is concerned, battery energy storage systems this year and until 2030, we are going to see a very big boom and a rise in demand. And even in supply, and even a lot of manufacturing companies are opening up their bases in India for batteries specifically. But here also Indianization of this battery, local value addition content, which we call it in our business language. So local value addition should be at a higher priority. At least 60 to 70% of local value should be prioritized. There should be some caps for the companies who are made in Indian. For battery, so these things will actually motivate the Indian companies and also increase the revenue, increase the job opportunity, increase the infra and overall development story for our country specifically. So that's for the storage side. And in hydrogen, there should be, again, circling back to my first point, there is still a very big gap of demand creation. And see, essentially, all of the gray hydrogen users, see, currently also India is a very big market for gray hydrogen, right? All of the industries like fertilizers, refineries, pharma companies, galvanizing plants, all of these use gray hydrogen. But for them to motivate them to use green hydrogen, we have to introduce something like a subsidy or something like a reward system. So this has been story with rooftop solar, with EV cars, and should be with green hydrogen as well. So this will create demand. Demand will create bankable projects. the cost of capital will reduce and automatically the cycle will start, because India is already at a stage of execution, right? We just need good projects, bankable projects, and the rest can be done very easily, which we have already done in solar and wind.
Absolutely. I do thank all three of you for joining us. Certainly, these are the sectors to watch out for. Already, India has made a great start, but it is about now unleashing what is the available talent and technology in India to create an India of the future. Thanks a lot for watching our budget special. Keep watching CNN News 18.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The human gaze, all eyes up to the sky from the direction of Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Indian Air Force flypast will begin.
Time now for the grand finale, a thrilling flying display. This flying display is an outcome of the focused training and professionalism of the air and the ground crew of the Indian Air Force. The first formation onto your television screens, Arjun formation, named after Marshal of the Air Force Arjun Singh, Distinguished Flying Cross. Formation comprising one C-130J Super Hercules aircraft and two C-295 aircraft, the latest tactical transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Leading this formation is a C-130J aircraft from the Special Operations Squadron of the Indian Air Force, led today by Group Captain Rahul Rawat. The motto of the squadron, Praharati Pratihanti, translating to strike to kill. Flanking it are two C-29 aircraft from 12th Squadron in victory formation, flown by Group Captain Shivam P.K. Vasan and Wing Commander S. Sachin.
जी हाँ, जमीनी करतबों के बाद अब बारी है हवाई करतबों की। भारतीय वायुसेना के वायु योद्धा वायु विचरण करते हुए जब नजर आएंगे कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर, तो आप अपनी सांसें थाम लेंगे, यकीन मानिए। सबसे पहले कुछ ही देर के बाद अर्जन फॉर्मेशन, जिसमें दो C-295 विमान और साथ में एक C-130 एयरक्राफ्ट सुपर हरक्यूलिस के नाम से जिसे जाना जाता है, अर्जन फॉर्मेशन तैयार करते हुए कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से गुजरेगा, मार्शल ऑफ एयरफोर्स अर्जन सिंह के नाम पर जिसका नामकरण हुआ है। नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं ग्रुप कैप्टन राहुल रावत। 350 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से इन विमानों ने चंडीगढ़ से उड़ान भरी है और कर्तव्य पथ की ओर अग्रसर हैं।
The formation flying at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour, and today it has gone airborne from Air Force Station Chandigarh. C-130J is a special operation heavy lift transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force. And now you can see the first formation, Arjun formation, led by Group Captain